It is the 18th century. A lady awakens and prepares for the new day. But what does it take for this Georgian lady to create the fashionable silhouette of the late 1700s? When the time comes to dress for the day, the base layer is first donned. This layer is called a shift. This garment is more frequently washed as it's the closest one to the body. Next come the stockings. Showing one's ankle in this day is quite scandalous, so please forgive me. Since elastic won't be invented for quite some time, garters were tied in place to keep the stockings up. Some garters were exquisitely embroidered, but a simple piece of ribbon that's tied in a bow works just as well. They're tied above or below the knee. The shoes come next, an important step because attempting to buckle shoes while wearing stays is not impossible, but it isn't very comfortable. The shoes are made of leather, including the sole, and have a metal buckle which are often very detailed and decorative. Next come the stays, providing support and creating the shape of Georgian fashion. The design and shape of these boned garments subtly changed based on the particular fashion of the era, and they will eventually be called corsets in the 1800s. These particular stays are made with several channels of boning and are bound with leather to keep the boning in place. The closure is spiral laced at the back, but to do it by oneself, it can be loosely laced up in front and then twisted around to the back. The lacing is then tightened up and secured. Unlike common displays of tightening up stays, this was not a tighter, tighter, tighter until you can't breathe event. Though some women do go to the extreme for fashion's sake, stays of most women were practical, providing support. Stays are expertly patterned and crafted to fit one's body in a comfortable manner. The shoulder straps are then brought around on top and tied in place. If the gown was evening wear with a wide neckline, the straps could be brought under the arm and tucked in out of the way. The following garment is an under petticoat made of a sturdy linen, a basic undergarment for modesty and filling out the skirt. Though technically this should have been put on before the stays. Oops. Then comes the false rump, as it is called. It adds the proper and fashionable shape of the day. Often stuffed with pieces of cork, it is also called a cork rump, though this one is stuffed with down feathers. Instead of pockets being sewn into every dress, individual pockets, or sometimes a pair of pockets, one on each side, were tied around the waist and positioned near a slit in the petticoats and dress. And now for the first visible part of this ensemble, a silk petticoat. though it is pieced in the back, which won't be seen, with a plain cotton fabric to minimize expense. There are slits at each side creating the openings, and also allows for reaching the pockets on either side. The back is first secured with ties in the front, and then the front is tied in place at the back. This type of closure also allows for varying sizes. Some jumping helps smooth all the layers of the skirt. At this point, it's also good to check the position of the pocket to make sure it can be reached through the slit. This next piece is a neck handkerchief, a large piece of fabric wrapped around and tucked in place. Sometimes it was even tucked or pinned in place on top of the dress. Georgian women never go without a kerchief or a tucker, which is a small ruffle that gets basted along the neckline of the gown. One or the other is a must. Finally, it's time for the gown. This particular style is called the Italian gown. The skirts are drawn up in the back using loops on the skirt and ties at the waist, creating a bustle effect. A common fashionable touch to these dresses were embroidered cuffs or elbow ruffles attached to the sleeves. A tie is sewn to the back of the dress, which is then brought to the front and tied around the waist, which pulls the back of the dress smooth against the stays. The opening is then pin closed at the front. Hooks and eyes were sometimes used instead of pins, but it restricted the size that the dress was or could be, so using pins allows for those changing sizes. And with a final touch of some jewels, this Georgian lady is ready to enjoy this beautiful spring day. All these pieces of clothing were hand-sewn using historical techniques by me. You can find videos about the process of all these pieces on my channel, and there's also links in the description for each piece. Thank you for watching, enjoy your day, and in probably way less layers of clothing.
Stepsisters? Yes.
What's the face that they made?
With a cartoon one?
Yeah.
Oh, there's ugly. Oh! Oh my gosh! This is actually shaking. Try to dance a little bit because you've got to do one.
I don't know how